everybody. I was trying some Bollywood sunset mix Italy. So I prefer my mashups, but whatever it is. All right, let's see who all are here. Very, very good evening to Nidhi, Sonia, Sushma, Harshi Khandelwal, Anita, Aditi. Nail Stories by Rekha, S. Khan, 33,000, Yoga Happiness Hub. After a long time, oh my God, I missed you. I'm so glad that you've come. Bless you, my Jan. Hello, dear Arshu Singh. What are these pictures behind you? Actually, I don't know if you can see them, but there are lots of pictures behind me. I actually went to Bhutan and I picked up this beautiful book on Bhutanese goddesses. And so actually each one of these is a representation of a certain energy. Someone who stands for abundance, one stands for compassion, one stands for forgiveness, one stands for... So I found all of these goddesses. So it's not so clear because of the filter and because of the way I have positioned myself today. But they are really beautiful and gorgeously painted and all of that. So it's a new addition to my house. I'm not in my office today. I'm actually in my house. There used to be these two big large paintings which I've moved somewhere else, and then I've just displayed this amazing lovely goddesses. Hi, beautiful, love your energy. Thank you. Ajay Mehra is asking, what's your purpose of life? So Ajay, I think my purpose is honestly to continuously keep helping people, that as I keep evolving and understanding life better, to continuously communicate that with others and see to whoever that knowledge suits, they can absorb it and make their life better. So helping other people make their life better is my purpose in life, especially women. So for now it's especially women. At some point it may become everyone. Somebody so sweetly is asking, who is she? Hi, to introduce myself, I'm Puja Puneet. I'm a life coach. I love helping women get enlightened, and that's pretty much who I am. Go watch some of my Insta lives, you'll get a rough idea. And today, as you are here, you'll see me answering questions. See if you can connect with the answers. If you can, then you know we're all from the same soul tribe and we can help one another. Something very interesting happened yesterday. One of my friends called me and said, Puja, what if I disagree with your post? And I said, that's perfectly okay. I am not at any point trying to build a world where there is only one thought. I think the biggest mistake religions have made or people have made is that they start to believe what is working for them will work for everybody. And I think that's a huge problem in our society right now. It's so important to understand that everyone's coming from their own experiences. Like I will announce that, you know what, forgiveness is so important. Why do you want to carry the poison? You should forgive. But then the other day I was actually watching someone speak and they said, you know what, I don't want to forgive. I'm okay to move on, I'm okay to, but I don't choose to forgive. And it was a different viewpoint. I may or may not agree, but I did feel like, you know what, if somebody is choosing not to forgive, who are you, Puja, to command that on to them? And I do believe that it's totally okay to, maybe someday they'll be able to see what I'm trying to say. Maybe someday I'll be able to see what they are trying to say. But I really hope that in the world that we live in, one of the things we have to stop doing is forcing people to see our perspective. I think the beauty of being human is to have a variety of perspectives, and you know what, it can be right. It's not the perspective is right or wrong, it is who is it right for and who is it wrong for. So if I'm, let's say, a vegetarian, for me killing animals can be a very bad thing, but if you are a soldier stuck alone in a desert where there are only rabbits and snakes and you have to survive, eat them, maybe that is the best thing that could have happened to you, right? So the same thing can be completely right for someone and completely wrong for someone, and it's okay. When you do not give the context to the content, then actually, you know what, right and wrong does not have any place to sit. So it's very important to always understand the context of everything before you come to conclusions with the content, right? Nidhi is asking, if someone ignores you and you are forced to pull away, which tears us, how to deal with these emotions? So Nidhi, I feel like, you know what, one of the things I love to do is to get closure, is to confront this person. So, you know, I've been feeling this way. Have I done something? Has something happened between us? Now, some people who are wanting to express for who you matter will tell you why they are ignoring you, and then maybe you can sort it out. For some people, they will start to behave even more indifferent, like nahi kuch bhi nahi hua, kyun kya, and then still continue to ignore you, but they won't tell you why. And then if you have to move away from them, then just know that I always like to believe that there are conversation God is hearing that you can't hear, for which he has to choose to remove some people from your life to protect you. Now you may not see how and why he's protecting you from this person right now, but over the years at some point it might get revealed. Okay, so though you are losing this person and it is hurting you, just know someone better is coming in. And once you start to really in your heart believe someone better is coming in, it's so much easier to deal with this person. And for me, though, I have a clause itself in my love. You know how people say you should have unconditional love? I have unconditional love for humanity. I have unconditional love for the soul inside the body. So to them, I will keep blessing them. But if someone mistreats me, misunderstands me, chooses to gossip about me, then I am so sorry. You know what? I will still continue to love you at the soul plane, which means my soul will still bless your soul. But on the earth plane, I will choose to distance myself, because your vibrations are contagious. And the more I hang out with you, the lesser I like myself. And the lesser I like myself, the more that damages me. And I become okay in being compromised. So sorry, I don't want to be around you. So when someone, the amount of love you're going to give me is the amount of love, or maybe even more, you will receive from me. But for whatever reason, if you choose to back off or take a step back, then please be prepared that if you didn't learn to value me, then I don't want to be in your life, because I want to be in the lives of people who do value me. So Nidhi, see if you can start to really build your self-esteem in a manner where you start to own this fact that, you know what, I love you till you love me, but the day you stop loving me, let God replace someone in my life who is able to value me, so that I'm able to enjoy what I need rather than be with someone where I'm only chasing them. Hai na? Liliana, you look fabulous. Oh, it's called Fox Eyes Insta filter. So if anybody wants to try it out, it's got very interesting filter which makes your eyes look like fox eyes. So yeah, even I like it. Jyotsna Arora Malhotra. Sau Bana Puja. Sorry, I posted the question so quickly as I desperately wanted your advice. Oh, where is your question, Jyotsna? Let me go see if I can find it. नहीं दिख रहा मेरी जान. Okay, you post it again, okay? Health hack by Archana. Love your vibes. So much positivity and good vibrations. Thank you. Will I get the Golden Cage book? If you post my challenge in the evening today before I finish, then definitely you will get the book. Why not, my sweetheart? Love the hairstyle, the background decor, the earrings, the outfit, the combination. Oh my God. Okay, thank you. I like it when everything comes together so beautifully. Didn't plan it though, so thank you. The Game of Life 11. I'm feeling completely lost in my life right now. How to find some direction. My dear darling, see if you can join Awakening somehow, okay? I have this beautiful program that is starting. Please get in touch with Gunjan. Her phone number will be posted under this video, and allow me to take you on a 1-month journey of self-discovery. Anyone who doesn't have clarity, who doesn't have courage, who doesn't have consistency and is looking for these qualities to be built in them, highly recommend that you come for the Awakening program. It's a 1-month program. 4 Thursdays, we'll have a blast together. S. Khan, hi ma'am, when or what is the Women's Growth Summit? Women's Growth Summit is happening this Saturday. For all of you who'd love to come, it is 4 of us amazing masters who would come together to show you different sides of life. Shiny will tell you all about health. Manisha will tell you all about makeup and your exterior energy. I will tell you all about your interior energy, which is self-reflection, self-discovery, self-development, and Harvey will talk to you all about how to earn money online. So if any of these topics excite or interest you, do actually sign up for the Women's Growth Summit. It's all the information is in my stories. Yeah. Love you too. Sahakari Vinda, how to come out of the habit of giving excuses. Sahakari, you need to start to build yourself. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Back in 2010, 2011, I was a very ordinary woman who, like everyone else, used to overcommit to people and then later on find excuses to how to get out of those situations, because I wouldn't have thought things through. I would be telling my son, I'll teach you also. I'll be telling my friend, I'll take you shopping also. I'll be telling my mother-in-law, I'll be available for your kitty also. And then at 5 o'clock, I wouldn't know which one. So I'll be calling up my friend saying, yaar, pet dukh raha hai. I'll be telling my mother, ke, wo driver nahi aaya, to salad nahi mangwa saki. And all of those stories that we give when we tend to overcommit without thinking, and then we go into making excuses. So if you really want to get into the habit of building yourself, firstly start to take your words very seriously. The first thing I did was I started to speak much lesser. The more you speak, the more you commit, the more you overcommit. So the first thing I did was I just started to become a lot more silent, and I feel like that really helped me, because I started to value what I was going to say. My commitment then started to, how they say Pathan ki zaban, I started to follow that rule that, if I'm going to say it, I'm going to follow it, otherwise I'm not going to say it. Kisi ne gun thodi dali hai mere head pe to tell me that you have to say it. So it's my choice only, to say it. Then I have to stop trying to be a people pleaser, where I want to impress or please everybody, right? Which is, a lot of us are conditioned in that manner, where we want to jump in and help everyone, but then later on we only get overwhelmed with, everyone's taking us for granted. Who gave them the permission? Us only, no. So if you want to get out of the habit of making excuses, firstly, bring down the amount of commitments you're making. On a daily basis, see if you can make only one commitment. I call that Eat That Frog. Brian Tracy has a beautiful book dedicated to productivity. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. In that, he speaks about every day, know what is that one big thing that you are trying to achieve, and go towards that by eating your frog mostly before noon. By lunch, you should have done that big work. So let's say for today, I had to do a masterclass. So this morning I did a masterclass. That was my most important delivery of the day. Tomorrow, awakening starts. So most important thing for tomorrow is going to be awakening. On Friday, I have a very important SS meeting. I'm going to have to do that. On Saturday, we have WGS. So on every day, I know what my frog is, right? So like that, it's best to kind of know what your frog is, and then make sure that for some of us, it'll be exercising. For some of us, it'll be our morning routine. For some of us, it will be a promise that we made to some close relative. So look at that and make sure that gets done. Now, as you grow yourself to do one activity every day, and when you start to feel like ek to easily ho rahi hai, start to make it two. For example, I did the masterclass this morning, but I also have an Insta Live today evening. I have awakening tomorrow morning, but I also have a meeting with one of my very important companies tomorrow evening. Then on Friday morning, I have SS, but Friday evening, I have CC closing. Then again, like that, then you can start to commit to two things. Once you start to get two things done, you can start to build three. And slowly, you will start to notice that your excuses will start to reduce, and your commitment towards what it is that you're doing will start to grow. Slowly, your self-esteem will grow. More than anything else, can I tell you what grows maximum? Your ability to like yourself. When we keep on making promises to other people that we don't keep, there's a part of us that starts to stop trusting ourselves. We have what we call the ant, which is our conscious mind, and elephant, which is our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind stops trusting our ant or the conscious mind when we keep on saying kal subah uthungi 7 o'clock, फिर जब alarm बजता है we get up by 9 o'clock. Now your elephant knows कि इसने कुछ करना वरना तो है नहीं है, तो सिर्फ बोलती है. Then it doesn't cooperate. Now our elephant is 10 times or 3,600 times stronger than our subconscious mind is 3,600 times stronger than our conscious. Now see how we are making ourselves so weak. Now you say that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, and you actually wake up for the next 21 days every day. Do you know by the end of 21 days what will happen? Even if you don't say you want to wake up, your elephant will wake you up. How many of you who are in a good habit know that at sharp 12:30, if you eat lunch at 12:30, your hunger will happen at 12:30. If you're someone like I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, at 4:28 or so, something happens, my eyes open, I'll look at the watch and say, oh, and I'll actually switch off my alarm before the alarm goes off. How many of you know that we all have a circadian rhythm in our body which actually knows timing very, very well? True or not? So for every single one of you here, I want you to start to, ordinary people live by excuses, and 90% of the world lives there, and that is why they earn at that level, their relationships look like at that level, their health looks like at that level. If you really want to become something, there's a man called, kya naam tha uska? He's a runner. Naam yaad aayega, so I'll put it underneath this video. Oh my god, what a fabulous guy. I mean, he just is one of, they call him, I think, the strongest man alive or whatever. Just lives without excuses, fractured his toe and ran the marathon. He has such interesting and amazing stories. He's got the highest civilian award or some award in America. He's just too good. No, he's not an Indian, he's a black guy in America. Naam yaad aayega to zarur bataungi, theek hai? Alright, hi Pooja, there's no communication between my in-laws and my parents due to the ego of my mother-in-law. I'm fed up of this situation and I don't want to stay here. It's been 4 years, things are just not improving. So Yuga Bobode Bubade 7, you know what? I like to treat the marriage as the sacred relationship and all extra relationships as bonus. Okay, so now the relationship that you're describing to me is between your parents and your in-laws. If they get along, that's great. If they don't get along, my suggestion is don't take on the responsibility of you having to make them get along. Because which is the most important relationship in this equation is with you and your husband. And for a diluted relationship, the most important relationship is becoming weaker and weaker because you are getting upset with his mother's ego or his mother's behavior, and you know who you are going to land up removing it on? Your dear darling husband. My suggestion is first you both make yourself strong. वो उनका क्या relationship है नहीं फर्क पड़ता. That is not a direct relationship, true or not. Then you have to see what is your relationship with these parents. That you, if you want to fix, you fix. You don't want to fix, you don't fix. That is the extra bonus. The relationship you are describing is level 3 relationship. अब मेरी ननद मेरी देवरानी के साथ मेरी भाभी और मेरी देवरानी की बनती है कि नहीं बनती, उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? These are separate families, separate houses, they don't even live together. मेरी दोनों के साथ बनती है कि नहीं बनती, that matters, okay? So now if you tell me that no Pooja, I don't even get along with my husband, then that problem is a stronger problem. I would like to jump in to help. If your parents and your in-laws are not speaking because your mother-in-law is throwing some random tantrums, my suggestion, allow her. Why is this so important? Did your mother not have a life before she met your mother-in-law? She has, right? Maybe she's upset about, some people are extremely complex, okay? Let her be. Allow her. You know, Mel Robbins has this let it be theory or let them be theory. I don't know exactly the words which it is, but let's call it the let them be theory. Can you allow your mother to just be? You know why she's throwing the tantrums? Because you're giving it importance. The day you stop giving it importance and you say you talk or you don't care, who cares about whether you talk to my mother or not? You won't realize how easy life will become. And you know, she might just stop throwing these tantrums because through these tantrums, she's getting importance. Anytime you see anyone throwing tantrums, just know they are looking for attention. They don't know how to get attention through love, so they will get attention through hate, okay? But it's all an attention game. My suggestion, stop giving her the attention. She doesn't deserve it. Start giving all of this energy to your direct relationship, which is your spouse. Let him and you come on to the same side. Let him also be upset with his mother if you want for not speaking. Abhi, he's defending her because you're so upset. He has no choice. Okay? There will come a time when you'll stop defending her. No, he'll start to get upset on why his mother's behaving like this, so unreasonable. But when we speak too loud, the son or the child has no choice but to defend his parents. When we start to go, ठीक है छोड़ो यार जैसी भी है आपकी माँ है, I will respect her for that reason. That's when you will start to notice your husband starting to feel bad for you. So see if you can shift your focus. If your focus is on your mother-in-law and your mother, that's not a relationship I want you to. हम अपने बच्चों को नहीं बना के रख सकते, हम मदर और मदर-in-law के कहाँ चल पड़े हैं, ठीक है मेरी जान? David Goggins, thank you whoever mentioned that. Absolutely, his name is David Goggins. I would love for you to watch 1 or 2 of his videos just for you to see the level of commitment that he lives by. Let's Talk Aviation is asking, how can I come over the fear of losing my partner? Now, Let's Talk Aviation, I don't know whether you're talking about losing your partner to life, which is death, or to cheating. because both the places you can lose your partner. So which one is it? I'll anyway answer both for you, okay? So how do you come over the fact of losing your partner? Let's first consider it as death. You know, the problem with us human beings is that we want to control the 1 or 2, 3 things also which God has not given us control over. What are the things God has not given us control over? Where we are born, when we will die. These are the 2 things He's not given us any control over. When we try to control what is in God's control, we will always live in anxiety, we will always live in fear, we will always overthink things. My suggestion is start to build your personality where you start to trust your God so much, where your faith and surrender is so extreme that you start to believe in your heart कि भगवान मेरे साथ गलत कर ही नहीं सकता. तो जो भी होगा भगवान ठीक ही करेगा और जैसे भी होगा मैं मैनेज कर लूंगी, बिकॉज मेरे साथ तो भगवान ठीक खराब कर ही नहीं सकता क्योंकि आई एम द स्पेशल प्रोटेक्टेड चाइल्ड ऑफ गॉड. एंड व्हेन यू स्टार्ट टू स्पीक योर ट्रूथ एवरी डे, लाइक आई वाज सेइंग, व्हेन द एंट स्टार्ट्स टू स्पीक हर ट्रूथ, देयर इज अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ क्लीन एनर्जी दैट यू स्टार्ट टू गेन. द मोर ऑथेंटिकली यू लिव लाइफ, the more vibrationally higher you become as a person. The lesser secrets, the lesser rubbish you carry within you, the more clean and clear you are, the higher you vibrate, the lighter you are, the lighter you are, the closer to God you are, the more protected you automatically become. So then I would love for you to give up. See, most of the world has fear of death. True or not, the way we have created a relationship with death is so wrong because we have started to believe that it's a bad thing to happen. Imagine if our culture shifted that complete story to that dying is actually the most beautiful thing that happens to us because we go and then become one with the Supreme. The Atma meets the Paramatma, and the joining of that is the ultimate coming together. Why do we think that being on earth is actually the ultimate? Why don't we believe being in heaven is the ultimate? So then when we have a new story in our head saying that, you know what, death doesn't take away anyone, death only changes the form. First I knew them through I knew them through physically. Now I know them in energy. Most people who've lost a parent or lost someone close to them will tell you they can literally sometimes sense them sitting right next to them. Sometimes that song comes then and they can literally smell the food that they used to love. They can hear the song. Energetically they are speaking. The whispers of the universe is continuously speaking to them. And I believe that when you have someone sitting in heaven who's very close to you, you have a hotline with God. You don't even have to pray to God. You can literally pray to the person you love most and he will communicate everything to God. So you have a double advantage. What am I trying to do here? I don't know what I'm speaking is even the truth or not. What I know is when you change the story around death, then you know what, it just becomes so much easier to operate because there are some things as human beings with our intelligence we must say, you know what, Godji, whatever this is one decision you have decided to keep in your hands. I'm sure you know better than me why you've decided to do that. So I'm just going to leave it to you. I'm not going to try to control that one thing that you want control over. And you start to build that faith in God to that extreme level where you literally start to go, I am God's special child. You'll start to see a totally different way of being. Okay, this is if it is to Godji. If it is to another woman, let's say you have the fear of losing your partner to another woman, or you know, today cheating has become so rampant, like, you know, literally because of social media, phone, WhatsApp. Cheating is super easy. You go for one party, next day you get one compliment, tomorrow the conversation on WhatsApp starts. It becomes so nicely dopamine high you get because your this new person is giving you compliments on things that your husband has never said to you. So you start to get attracted, you start to be, you know, weak in those moments, and then starts the affair. The same opposite is also true with the man. So a lot of affairs are happening these days. Now, how do you deal with affairs? One of the things I like to say to myself is confidence is not that it will not happen. Confidence is that if it happens, I'll be able to handle it. So we have to build ourselves to become that person where we should be so valuable to our partner that firstly, he won't take a chance. And if he took a chance, we are fully capable of finding someone better than him. I always in my jokes say that, you know what, you know why Salman Khan never got married? Because he's waiting for me only. No, if ever Puneet does anything, मैं तो गई, मेरे लिए तो वो wait कर रहा है. Of course it's a joke, but it's also the confidence that, you know what, while I love you when you love me, the day you don't love me, I will find someone better. And I want you to start to build this faith in yourself कि अगर कभी मेरे साथ ऐसा कुछ हुआ जो नहीं होना चाहिए था, You know, I have no problem with people giving people a chance. If you want to, sometimes you have an affair, one person has an affair in the relationship, it actually brings you together and closer much more. You had started to live parallel lives, and the affair told you that, you know what, you're not nurturing this relationship enough. So the person comes back and you both together then rebuild the journey, and wow, you know, you needed that affair to give you that shake to say that, you know what, no, we value each other, we actually love each other. We had just started to become very, you know, stable or bored or whatever you want to call the word, right? So sometimes the affair can bring you together. Sometimes the affair can actually tell you that this person was never worth it, and now after doing this, though, I can't trust him because I feel completely betrayed. No matter what I do, I can't trust him. I need to move on. Then you take 1 or 2 years to move on. Sometimes you are not ready at that moment because you're in so much shock, but in a couple of years you realize, you know what, this relationship was never working. I thought, or I kept sitting in that mirage that it is working, and then you move on from there to either find someone better, or if you feel complete by yourself, then go on a journey of being single for a while, of self-discovery, which also is very beautiful. So when we start to understand that we can't hold on to anybody that tight, whether it is in death or in affair, and we have to give them that chance or that ability that, you know what, the day you start to in your heart know that you will be fine no matter what, and you start to build you. Don't focus on that person, focus on who you are and who you are becoming. If your insecurities are financial, start to build yourself financially. If your insecurities are emotional, start to build a village around you that you know will support you and love you if you're ever left alone. If you're feeling insecure in whichever method, look at where your insecurity lives. It is a signal and feedback to you that, you know what, instead of remaining weak in that energy, let's work on making you super strong. You know, in the first couple of years in my marriage, whenever Puneet and I would have a fight, I would say, "Main ja rahi hu," and he used to be like, "Nahi, please, sweetheart, don't ever leave me." And I used to love the attention. Ek bari I was fighting and he said, "Better tu jao." उसके बाद आज तक मैंने कभी वो सेंटेंस नहीं बोला. You know why? Because it was just my power over him that I was using. A lot of times when we start to become weak in the relationship, the other person starts to take us for granted. Today Puneet says, अगर तू सच्ची में अगर आज बोलेगी ना मैं जा रही हूँ तो तू सच्ची में चली जाएगी. उस वक्त तो वो empty threats थे, you know, खाली वाली धमकी. So I want you to build yourself to that level where the man values you and won't do anything because he knows that if he actually does something, you will actually leave. And that's the position. So when you come together out of choice and not because you signed a marriage paper, I think those relationships are the good relationships of the world. Agree or no? Tell me in the chat box, what's your opinion on all of this? Blessed Soul 21 is asking, Pooja, I've dated so many guys through an arranged setup, also was in a relationship, nothing seems to be working out. Blessed Soul, sometimes our body, energy, mind, soul needs healing. And till the time we don't heal ourselves, somehow we are not able to, I call it the, the circle that's not complete. So when you are not complete and the other person is not complete, when you come together, it doesn't work out because you keep snapping off. When you are fully complete and the other person is fully complete, when you come together, guess what happens? The lock gets tied. And for that lock to happen, you have to have complete healing and you have to feel complete in yourself so that you attract a complete person, and that's when the relationships work. So for that reason, if you are not a part of Awakening till now or you haven't done Awakening with me, I highly recommend it because it's a 1 month of deep healing journey of literally falling in love with yourself all over again. The Wild at Art, please talk about Buri Nazar and whether it is true and how to get out of it from your mind. You know, the amount of times I have covered this topic, I just feel like every Insta live has Buri Nazar in it, okay? Like last time I was saying, Buri Nazar is just an inconvenience. If you accept it like the red light on the road, do you ever say that I will not go on the road because red light aa jayegi, हमें रुकना पड़ेगा, I don't want to रुकोफाई, so therefore I don't want to go itself. ऐसे करते हैं हम नहीं ना. हम क्या करते हैं? डिटूअर ले लेते हैं, कभी कभी रेड लाइट आती है हम उस रास्ते से निकल जाते हैं, कभी कभी कोई और ऑब्स्टिकल आता है. बुरी नजर को एक ऑब्स्टिकल या रेड लाइट के जैसे, इनकन्वीनियंस के जैसे देखो, उसको ऐसे मत देखो कि ओहो बुरी नजर लग जाएगी. अरे लग जाएगी तो लगने दो और उसके यू गो थ्रू इट. व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय दैट? because buri nazar only happens till the time this thing is new or novel for you. The minute it becomes familiar or your new normal, the nazar stops. For example, the first time Shah Rukh Khan came on the cover of Cineblitz, शायद उसको नजर लगी होगी. आज when he comes on the cover of any magazine, हम दो बारी मुड़ के देखते भी नहीं है. अगर शाहरुख खान नहीं कवर पे होएगा तो कौन कवर पे होएगा? करेक्ट है या नहीं? लाइक दैट, जब पहली बार कुछ भी होता है, मेरे बेटे ने कल 3 रोटियां खा ली, अरे वाह, अब लगेगी नजर. करेक्ट, ठीक है, वो थोड़ा सा बीमार हो गया एक दिन के लिए, उसका पेट खराब हो गया, फिर अगले दिन से उसने फिर से 3 रोटियां खानी शुरू कर दी. अब वो रोज 3 रोटी खाता है, नजर खत्म. You know, every Wednesday in 2015, I used to write a blog on my husband. And when I used to write that blog, I used to praise him a lot and I used to praise our relationship a lot. Every Wednesday evening was our date night. हर एक वेडनेसडे लड़ाई हो जाती, हर एक वेडनेसडे लड़ाई हो जाती. माय रिलेटिव स्टार्टेड टू टेल मी कि यार पूजा, तू इतना अच्छा लिखती क्यों है, फिर लड़ाई तो होगी. बट यू नो व्हाट, आई न्यू दैट व्हाई शुड वी स्टॉप. जब नजर लगती है एंड वी स्टॉप, अब हमेशा नजर लगेगी, क्योंकि हमने वी डिड नॉट पास थ्रू दैट एनर्जेटिक वल्नरेबल मोमेंट. सी, दिस इज जस्ट अ वल्नरेबल पीरियड. याद है जब हम सीमेंट को डालते हैं तो थोड़ी देर के लिए, 2 घंटे के लिए वो लूज होता है. अगर उस पर कोई भी कुछ करेगा उसका निशान पड़ जाएगा. बट विद इन 2 आवर्स वो स्ट्रांग इनफ हो जाता है कि अगर उसके ऊपर कूदोगे भी ना तो कुछ नहीं होएगा. करेक्ट और नो? सेम में आई वॉन्टेड टू लुक एट नजर के 2 घंटे के लिए तुम थोड़े से वल्नरेबल होगे. उस 2 घंटे में जो भी होगा, डील विद इट. ओके, बिकॉज नो दैट विद इन 2-3 डेज ये आपका नया नॉर्मल बन जाएगा. वो सीमेंट एकदम स्ट्रांग हो जाएगा. एंड नाउ, मैं पहले वेडनेसडे लड़ाई हुई, दूसरे वेडनेसडे लड़ाई हुई, तीसरे वेडनेसडे लड़ाई हुई, पर चौथा वेडनेसडे लड़ाई होनी बंद हो गई. क्यों? बिकॉज अब नजर नहीं लग रही थी. बिकॉज रोज तुम वही डालोगे तो सब लोग बोलेंगे हाँ ठीक है पुनीत ऐसा है भाई, क्या करें अब. करेक्ट? So you have to treat nazar like an inconvenience. It definitely exists because it's there in every culture. Whether you look at the African tribes or the Amazonian jungle or the evil eye in Egypt, or it's there in every culture. But you know what? There is enough totkas also around it. कोई काला धागा पहन लेता है, कोई ऐसे काजल पीछे लगा लेता है, कोई मिर्ची वार लेता है. अपने कल्चर में पता करो नजर से कैसे बचते हैं और नजर से बचना शुरू कर दो, या नजर खा के इतने स्ट्रांग हो जाओ कि नजर लगे भी तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है, हम मैनेज कर लेंगे. When you start to become stronger than the nazar, then only you can go on the journey of success. नहीं तो डरते डरते एक अच्छी चीज हुई नहीं कि 3 बुरी होएंगी, फिर अच्छी चीज हुई नहीं 3 बुरी होएगी. इसलिए आधे लोग तो इतना अपने ही खुशी से डरना शुरू कर दिया है. उनको खुशी क्या बोलते हैं, उसको डाइजेस्ट ही नहीं होती, बिकॉज उनको ये लग रहा है खुशी आई है अब तो गंदा आएगा ही आएगा. चाहे तुम्हें ये बात पता हो या ना पता हो, खुशी के बाद गंदा आता ही है, गंदे के बाद खुशी आती है, खुशी के बाद गंदा आता ही है. ये तो होना ही है, ये तो रीत है लाइफ की, राइट? एंड इफ दैट इज द वे लाइफ इज सपोज टू वर्क, देन व्हाई आर वी ट्राइंग टू फाइट इट? नाउ आई वांट यू टू स्टार्ट टू एंजॉय द गुड fully, as much as you can, knowing that bad will come, we'll deal with it. And when the bad comes, know that if bad has come, this too shall pass. Tomorrow morning will be a good day. How many of you think right now you can start to deal with nazar in a much more stronger way? Stop being scared of it, because you know what? There are so many people who don't even have time to bother about nazar. They treat nazar as one of the रास्ते में जाता हुआ red light. ठीक है? See if you can deal with it like that. Okay, let me go right to the bottom and see what's happening there. Deepika Singh, please answer my question. I'm facing a lot of issues in my relationship because of my impatience and restless behavior. I know my mistakes and I want to rectify them as well, but now he doesn't want to be with me. Oh, that's hard. You know what, sweetheart? Sometimes what happens is that some relationships come into our life to just teach us our lesson. Okay? He doesn't have the patience to absorb your whatever issues he's had with you up until now. But my suggestion would be start changing. Okay? Now, as you keep changing, he may realize the changes and come back or be there. I don't know whether this is a marriage or this is a relationship or where you are in with this person. But my suggestion is, when we learn the lesson, God sends the better people. Till the time we don't learn the lesson, disguised angels will keep coming into our life who trigger us into being, being that, so that we can learn our lesson. So I want you to imagine let's say I need to learn patience. God will purposely put people in my life where I will lose patience so that I can learn it, right? The same way, maybe God has put some people in your life to teach you those lessons, and once the lesson is learnt, these people actually leave your life for better to come, because now you have become better. I don't know if I can protect you from getting hurt in the process of this person leaving, but at least acknowledge the fact that had he not been there, maybe you wouldn't have never changed into becoming this better person that you've become. Start celebrating this better person that you have become, so that you can acknowledge and own your power, rather than keep feeling bad that I lost him because of who I was. Start to feel that, now I'm going to gain someone better because of who I have become. All right, Seema is asking, Puja ma'am, I want to become a life coach, as I really love to connect with people, and especially want to connect with children to understand their problems and help them out like you. Seema, Aja Meri Jaan, I would love to help you become a coach. For all of you who know, I have coaching programs where I help women become coaches. So just be in touch with Gunjan. The journey now is awakening, enlightenment, coaching certification. So you'll have to go through the whole process of first working on yourself and making yourself miraculous. And then when you do the coaching certification program, just see how fast money and abundance will flow at you while you make deep impact in the world. Grateful Gifts by Richa. Hi Pooja, I'm not able to keep calm about getting my manifestation to come to me. Richa, one of the basic rules of manifestation is detachment, okay? You will see some people will stand outside the lift and press the lift and wait. Some people will stand outside the lift and go as if the lift is going to come any faster by you pressing it 50,000 times. True or not? So if you keep on doing this, what you land up doing is you land up actually stopping your own energy of being able to attract. When you keep doing this, what is the energy or the conversation or the communication that you're having with the universe? I don't really trust that it will come. Doubt starts to walk in, fear starts to walk in, your vibration falls. When your vibration falls, the minute your vibration falls, the abundance gate closes. Now, even though whatever it is you want, let's say it's a car, the car will get parked. It was going to come, it was on its way. God and universe totally feel you deserve it and was going to give it to you. But because you got desperate, the door closed, and the minute the door closed, our manifestations get stuck. So if you really want to build on your manifestation, my suggestion is every morning, fake a letter saying how much you believe that it is on its way and how beautifully you are going to warmly welcome it. One of the things I love saying is, what I want, I will decide. When I will get it, God will decide. And that's the relationship I have with God. What I want, I will decide. When I will get it, God will decide. Okay? And I've seen that this works beautifully because it keeps me in my calm, because I don't try to rush anything. I have a general idea of when I should receive it, like how when you go to a fast food restaurant, you know कि McDonald's का burger 5 मिनट के अंदर आ ही जाएगा. You know when you go to a Michelin star restaurant कि यहाँ तो भाई टाइम लगेगा, 2-3 घंटे का डिनर है, correct? Same way when you are asking for what you are asking for, you have a rough idea of कि कितना टाइम लगना चाहिए. Now 2-3 months this way or 2-3 months that way, if you can just keep your patience and build yourself to not be attached to what it is, that is a much better way to operate. One of the key sentences that I learned to get detached to all my desires and wishes was, Godji, this or something better. The minute you say this or something better, you actually remove yourself from throwing tantrums for this only. Okay, so just start to use this. So whatever it is you're trying to manifest, start to say this or something better, this or something better, and you start to see there's a certain amount of distance you will put. This actually opens up the portals, opens up that gate, and instead of coming slowly, it actually speedens up your entire manifestation. Yeah. Jyotsna Arora Malhotra. Hi Pooja, my daughter is studying in Canada, third year of college. She has to change her apartment where she is going to be staying on rent. Shifted to another country during COVID. Really miss to have a good... Oops, unfortunately I can't read more of the question, my sweetheart. If I'm able to finish your question, I'll definitely answer it, okay? I want to answer it because my own son is in third year and has done everything that you're describing, so I'd love to figure out what your question was and I'll love to answer it, okay? Devika_Gera, how to find the time as husband and wife when you live in a joint family and they want to do everything together? Devika, I live in a joint family, so I totally understand what you're saying, and I think learning to steal time is a beautiful thing that you can actually do in a joint family. You know, I remember the day I had gotten married, the next morning we had a visa appointment, okay, with like for our honeymoon or whatever, we had to apply for a visa and I needed to be married for application of that visa. So we went to get the visa done, and while coming back we also stopped at Sangeeta's and quickly had a dosa. When we came back, my mother-in-law made lavish breakfast for me, and I just had to re-eat that whole meal. But you know, it was so cute because we had already had our secret moment, and secret moments in joint families are so cute because you know what, they say that actually love, hidden love is 10 times more exciting than actually open love. So see if you can start to create a game between your husband and you where you can start to have code words, you can start to have, you know, let's say everybody's sitting on the table and you want him to get up from the table. Can you have some sort of a code word where you say, you know what, washing machine mein kapde reh gaye hain, and you know what, that becomes ke, you know, aajo meri madad kar do, or whatever, something like that. So see if you can come up with cute ways to steal time rather than becoming upset and angry that everybody wants to be together. Because I'll tell you something, if there is something so beautiful about a joint family, if everyone is good, there is something so powerful in a joint family that in a world where we are getting lonelier and lonelier, I to get happy when I hear that some family systems are actually working where they want to be with one another. I think that's a blessing. Now within that setup, yes, I would love for you to have, you know, the day we actually for about 2 years in our joint family system, we actually moved out to another house because we broke this house down and built it into different floors for different families. Like my brother-in-law lives on one, another brother-in-law lives on one, my mother-in-law lives on the top. So like that, we built it like that. Those 2 years, I had waited for about 17 years to live alone, but when I actually lived alone, I realized there was something very cute about belonging to the joint family. I remember now, I mean, especially now what happens is, like, if I don't feel like eating the food that's made in my house, I just send a message to my sister-in-law and say, तुम्हारे घर में क्या बना है? मैं बहुत bored हूँ अपने घर के चने चावल खा के, तुम अपना भेज दो, मैं अपना भेज देती हूँ. And all of those little things are super cute. But when you're living in one, it doesn't feel cute. So you have to create cuteness with your spouse. So whether it is holding hands under the table or kicking him or doing whatever you feel like to build that relationship between you and him in your cute little secret way, I think working on that is a great idea, and you will miss this the day you don't have it. Is, trust me when I say this, yeah? Okay, let's go right to the bottom. I can see so many questions today. Wow, I wish I could answer each one of them, but you know what? It is just impossible. No matter how hard I try, it just doesn't happen. Hai na? When is the next batch of awakening? It will happen in October. Okay, so October 5th is the next batch of awakening. Just get in touch with Gunjan, come for the masterclass, sign up and come into my room. I would love to have each one of you. Shrivans, ma'am, how to deal with manipulation and deal with a person who always finds faults and blames you for everything? I think the most important thing, once you realize someone is manipulating you, you have to stop explaining, justifying, and starting to learn the art of ignoring. The one thing manipulators don't like is to be ignored. Okay? Till the time you are explaining and justifying, they know how to. Till the time you give them material to play with, they know how to play. If you take away the material itself, they don't know how to manipulate you, okay? So my suggestion is, the next time they talk about your faults and your blames, accept it. Just accept every label they put on you. They won't know what to do with it. So let's say somebody called me, Puja, you're so greedy. It hurt. And I started to say, no, I'm not greedy. I was actually making all of my jewelry so that tomorrow if you have a rainy day, I can sell it and save your life. I was helping. And here I am giving so much explanation and trying to convince them that I'm not a greedy person. What will happen if I say, yes, I am. Thank you for letting me know. अब वो कहाँ जाएंगे यहाँ से? And while it looks very brutal, what they are doing to you is not any less brutal. There came a time in my life where I felt like I no longer want to convince anybody. If they have chosen to misunderstand me, I am going to leave them to be able to do it. I no longer have the energy or the capacity to want to convince anyone else for whatever misunderstanding they are carrying. Okay, maybe I'll give it one shot. If they understand, great. If they don't understand, I am not interested. Puja, you're a bitch. Thank you. Puja, I hate your posts. Thank you. Puja, I think you're misguiding the women in the world. Thank you. You are not the person I want to help in the first place. You've already decided. Most people who have decided to misunderstand, you have already decided. Nothing you can say to change their mindset. All you can do is take your power back. How do you take your power back? The day it stops mattering to you what they think of you, you will have your power back, Meri Jaan. So see if you can try to do that. Okay? Veena Adhikari is asking, what according to you is an Aspire coach checklist for daily basis? Veena, I'm not a big believer of one checklist because I believe we all are living in individual families that have different systems. So best is to create your own routine. But I definitely believe in some of the things, which is one is having a solid morning routine. If you are a coach, every single day, it is your job to put something positive. Like all of you who are listening to this Insta Live, what are you doing? For 1 hour, you are putting positive content within inside of you. This will leave you more inspired. This will leave you more motivated. This will leave you feeling more calm and energized. These are the kind of things you want to do on a daily basis. 20 minutes of either reading a good book or watching a YouTube video or spending time with someone who inspires you every day. 20 minutes is a great, fabulous idea to do. Gratitude is the second thing that I'm a big believer of, that we all must do every single day. No matter what, make sure that you're doing gratitude every single day. It really helps build you as a person and keep your vibration at a certain level and trains your mind to, in a world that is so negative, how to focus on the positive. I think distribution of random acts of kindness is a beautiful way to operate if you're a coach. Just becoming more kind. Kindness should be the religion of coaches, because I do believe how are we going to stand out amongst everybody? By going that extra mile for other people. Our job is about loving others, holding space for others, or really caring and being concerned. Then how, if we are going to be rude, nasty, how is it going to show that we are different from the rest of the world that is busy judging? It is only when we stop judging and start loving, that's when we will be showing up as extraordinary. So my suggestion is every day look at your life and say, how can I do one random act of kindness today? How can I do one random act of kindness today? And when every day you do something more than what was expected from you, you'll start to see God's blessings starting to come more into your life. So I'm a big believer of that. Otherwise, also as a coach, just generally learning to manage your judgments. The lesser you judge, the better the coach you are. Grounding yourself every evening, having some sort of an evening practice of where you either journal or you take a saltwater bath or you go for a walk bare feet, so that you can ground yourself. Remember, whole day as coaches, we are absorbing people's negativity or their energy, which may not be the best energy. And while I'm a big believer of whoever comes to me, I tell them, just leave all of your pain, anger, upsets, depression with me. मैं प्रोफेशनल हूँ, मुझे आता है इसको क्लीन करना, आपको नहीं आता, आप ये सारा मेरे पास छोड़ के जाओ. The same way, if you are someone who's a professional who wants to clear your clients of all of the junk that they are carrying, then you must know how to clear your own junk even better, because you're collecting all of it the whole day, right? So these are just some of the things I think that, I don't know if that was your question or this was the route you wanted me to take, but I tried my best to answer it from whatever I could understand from your question, right? Oh my God, it's 4:52. Okay, on that note, then let's do our challenge first. So let me read out who are the winners of this week's challenge. Those of you who put in your stories my photo along with your biggest takeaway of last week and your and you basically tagged me, Puja_Puneet. All right, we had over 44 of you that participated, and the winners of this week's challenge who have won my book Unlocking the Golden Cage are Poonam_A_Agarwal, Suchira_Sherisher, and Royal Ruya. Okay, let me read that again. Poonam Agarwal, Suchira, Sherisher, and Royal Ruya. Massive congratulations. Please expect my team to get in touch with you to get your address so that we can courier these books to you. For next week's challenge, let's quickly get the picture done, and then I will share with you one new message from the 5 minutes in the morning book, which I have just loving using every morning. I just open one page and see what's my message for the day, and I'm going to do the same for you today, right? All right, let's get the picture. Which is the best pose? I don't know. Cheers. हो गया, thumbs up चाहिए. वाह, awesome. इतना ही आता है, मॉडल नहीं हूँ. Okay, superb, thanks. All right, on that note, let's see what we can get today's message as. All right. What went well yesterday? So all of you, I want you to do this activity. Optimism is a choice. It can feel strange at first to find ways to praise yourself. It's often easier to focus on what you haven't achieved rather than the things that you have. There might be a worry that this feels like a short step away from being arrogant or too satisfied. Put these conditioned thoughts aside for today and give yourself 5 minutes to reflect on everything that you managed to achieve yesterday. Reflect on daily habits that you can begin to build up the momentum in certain areas, and before you know it, it will become a streak. Big or small, write it all down and allow yourself to be proud about what went well yesterday. Why actually should we wait to do this later on? Why don't you all share with me in the chat box one thing that you feel you are proud of what went well yesterday? I'll start with yesterday was actually closing off my 21 days money manifestation challenge, and I have to say it was the first time I ever did it, and I wasn't sure how it will go. But we have received, I think, over 500 testimonials yesterday of how fabulous the challenge was and how much money people have managed to gain in the 21 days of while doing the challenge itself. So I felt really happy that it had worked for people, that all of the science that I speak about actually showed itself to be so awesome. Tomorrow morning, I will definitely share some of the feedbacks we have gotten about the 21-day challenge. But for me, I think yesterday, I have to say, I was very, very happy that I took people on a 21-day journey and that it actually worked for them. And the amount of genuine feedback we got on how amazing the challenge was extremely gratifying, extremely satisfying. Sometimes when you're doing something new, you don't really know whether it will land or work on others. So to see that it had worked so beautifully really meant a lot to me in my heart. So yeah, now you tell me in the chat box anything that really went well for you. Okay, what did you do yesterday that went really well? I manifested a visit to the Isha Yoga Center and it happened today. Oh my God, that's fabulous. Jai Sadhguruji, I love him so much, so God bless. I attended Tony Robbins' live session yesterday. Wow, I'm loving the amount of learning journey you are all going on. Dream big and start small was what I learned yesterday. Lovely. I cared for my skin and just jumped into it by deeply feeling all of that. Wow, that's so lovely. I got myself a rented house. That's fabulous. 2 of my friends came from very far distance just to come and meet me. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I got to sleep on time after so many days. Lovely. I got a maid after 3 years. Wow. Yesterday was the full moon of August. It's called the super moon. And I think only every 3 years my son was telling me that in August you have the super moon and the blue moon. So on the 30th of August we will have the blue moon, and on the 1st of August we had the super moon. That means moon being the closest to the earth. And I can tell you there's a lot of energy in the cycles of the moon, especially if you start to connect to good news with the moon cycles. So for all of you who are sharing so many amazing things that happened with you yesterday, I do believe somewhere it could be possible that the moon played. If those of you who believe, for them, yes, and for those of you who don't worry too much about it. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. All right, on that note, I am going to run. So you know what you have to do. Write a page on what went right yesterday. See if you can do this for 7 days till I see you next week. So every day, write about the previous day, what went right. And it's another form of doing gratitude only. So I think it will be so fabulous to journal on what went right yesterday. Yeah. So on that note, 1,000 kisses to all of you. For every single person who spends so much time developing yourselves, coming every week, I just want you to know how much I honor you. It means so much to me. I love doing this because of the energy you put in or you give back. So it's such a beautiful 1 hour for me every week. I so look forward to this. Whether I do anything else or not, Insta Lives is one thing I'm not willing to miss because it energizes me, and I'm so happy it does the same to you. Having said that, massive apologies to everybody who comes week after week after week, but your question doesn't get answered. I feel so bad sometimes, you can't even imagine. So please know that I try my best to cover as many questions as I can in the whole 1 hour. If for whatever reason I'll end up missing your question, the real truth is I don't do it purposely. It's not like I'm reading the question and skipping it when I could have answered or would have answered, or because I didn't like your name or anything like that. I don't even know most of you personally. So just know that, I'll end up missing questions only because there are too many to cover. True or not? Yes, with me everyone. Forgiven? Thank you so much. So bye everyone. Have a great evening. Ciao.